Ruslan.
Many of you guys know about the movie series called God Is Not Dead, or God's Not Dead. I enjoyed the first two, didn't know part 3 came out, thought it was good. And then someone told me, hey, you should look at part 4 of the trailer series. And I said, you know what? Why not? Let me check this out. And I did. Let's jump in. Yes, Newsboys. That's who wrote God's Not Dead, the Newsboys. All right, here we go.
Is a fragile thing, and it's never more than one generation away from extinction.
This is how you instantly know the energy they're going to be on. If it's Ronald Reagan, if your movie trailer is starting with Ronald Reagan,
and it's never more than one generation away from extinction. And those in world history who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again.
Let's face it, your God, your book, they're in the way. You feel that you're making a last-ditch stand for your faith, and you've chosen this as a hill that you're willing to die on.
So I'm thinking like, oh man, like what's going on? Did he get arrested for preaching the gospel? Like, why is he behind bars? Like, what is happening? This seems intense, man. Okay.
Our whole faith started because one man chose a hill he was willing to die on. I would like to call this hearing of the House Subcommittee to order.
Right now, there's an effort underway to mandate universal educational guidelines.
Once we decide what a child needs to know, it becomes imperative that every child know it.
Remember the visit we got from social services the other day?
I'm here to review your homeschooling environment.
This is about homeschooling? Fair transparency. We homeschool. I homeschool my kids. We've done a co-op group. But the moment you find out this is about homeschooling, homeschooling, that's gonna be the frontier that's going to destroy America. They're coming after homeschooling. That's the biggest threat to America freedom is homeschooling.
Been removed from our schools. They're teaching kids that they don't need God.
If your children
They're teaching kids they don't need God.
not show up at school a week from Monday, you will be charged with contempt of court, meaning you will be incarcerated.
They arresting people for not. Wow.
Shannon said last night she doesn't want her parents going to jail.
This is bigger than just homeschooling. I think we...
This is bigger than homeschooling.
fight this. We need to.
Just want to make sure you understand what you're fighting here.
Our district teaches a revisionist version of history.
God is for us.
You catch that? You guys catch that language? Our district is teaching a revisionist version of history. I think I know who they're sending shots at. I think I know where that's going, okay?
Against us.
And around here, just about everyone else.
The country
This is so cringe.
is now beginning to realize that unity means winning under our terms.
For 2,000 years, men have been trying to get rid of Christianity. What makes you think that you can accomplish what they couldn't?
They didn't have an 83% approval rating.
They didn't have an 83% approval rating. Wow, what a zinger of a line. Who wrote that? Okay, I think the rest is just more America. America's great. Okay. Homeschooling, courtroom, homeschooling. Okay, just so we're clear, just so you guys know, full disclosure, we homeschool. And we like the homeschool. We like the flexibility. Homeschooling, we like being able to, have some degree of travel and flexibility. We don't like the public school system, if I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't like how it's funded. We don't like the disparities in how it's funded. And my wife is actually really passionate about, teaching, education. She almost became a school teacher herself. So before I give you my commentary, because you guys are gonna be like, oh, Ruslan, he going at the conservative folk again. I have to first give you guys something from someone much more credible than me that will yell at this topic better than I can, okay? And so, my favorite Calvinist, Matt Chandler, did a video recently, and this is not to say that he's speaking out about this specific issue, but I think just about everything, generally speaking, could be summed up with this video that they put out from Village Church, and I want to play this for you guys, and then I'll give you guys my 2 cents. Okay, so this is Pastor Matt Chandler from Village Church. Check this out.
Head is not panicking right now. I don't need to preach this because things are getting wonky out there. Gosh, they've been wonky for 2,000 years. You just lived in a place for a while you couldn't see it. Like, you really think our brothers and sisters in Iran and Iraq right now are going, man, it's really getting out of control? Like, no, I'm trying to help you. So myopic of a view. You think our brothers and sisters in sub-Saharan Africa, that the stuff I'm reading here is there today? Are looking at the recent election and all these executive orders and going, oh, certainly, it'll be any day now. Guys, I'm trying to help us. That is a broken, constipated way of seeing the kingdom of God. Trying to help us. Like, if we're going to step out into what Christ has for us, got to stop thinking like that. Got to start thinking kingdom of God, global, universal to the ends of all that you see, know, and can comprehend. He is the King of glory. The text said it. He is the King of kings. The Godhead is not panicking right now.
Oh, man. Shout out to Matt. This just shows how Western and America first and nationalized Christianity has become for some of us. The fact that God's Not Dead, which is this multi-part series, instead of talking about anything in going on in the world, anything at all, their angle was, let's talk about the impending danger on homeschooling. Really, that is the most dangerous thing and the most wild, radical thing that's going to impede on our freedoms as Christians. And furthermore, I don't know if you guys know this, but living in a democratic nation, this is historical. Go look up the Spanish flu from 100 years ago. There's always this tension that we have between freedom and protection. Okay, freedom and protect, and we're always just going back and forth. So sometimes we give up freedom in exchange for what? Protection. This happened after 9/11. This is very common to have happened historically, okay? I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm saying that is what it is. I remember the very first time I got into a car with someone and they didn't want to put on their seatbelt because it was impinging on their freedom. It was taking away their freedom, and I thought that was the dumbest thing ever. Like, listen, yes, you have the freedom to not wear your seatbelt, and the police officers have the freedom to pull you over and give you a ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. At least that's how it is in California. And some of that stuff, specifically, I'm in California. I'm no fan of Governor Newsom. This totalitarian approach to stuff here is very annoying. And I'm not a big fan of it. But let's not act like this is the overt persecution of the church and they're taking us down. That is not what's happening. Stop it. If that's what you think is happening, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You sound goofy. So I want to show you guys an alternative to this amazing trailer that I actually was like, someone's like, go check out the God Is Not Dead trailer. And I was like, oh, okay. And this was the first thing I clicked on. I was like, this is actually fire. Like, I don't know if y'all seen this version of it. This is incredible.
This is new for both of us. You being a daughter, me a dad.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing.
I heard on the news today that the mark is now mandatory.
Anybody who won't bow down and worship the image of the beast will be killed.
Where's she at?
There's gotta be a way out.
I'll call an ambulance. No, don't.
This is fan-made.
Using my daughter to get to me.
Jesus Christ will return.
It's Justin. This is amazing.
We can control our weather.
We're kidnapping the president in a self-driving cab.
My God's not dead, he's surely...
They could have made anything. They could have made that. But they made a movie about persecution and homeschooling. And by the way, I always think it's very ironic that the very same people that accuse a certain segment of our population of having a victim mentality tend to have a victim mentality when it comes to anything culture or society related. I think that's super duper ironic that there's a whole system that's coming after you, and they're gonna get us. They're not gonna let us thrive. They're not gonna let us win as Christians. They're taking away our freedom. I also think there's this super interesting part where there's a segment of the population that is super duper uber skeptical of medicine and the medical field and people out here trying to save lives and big pharma, which I understand capitalism can mess up big pharma, and they want to speak truth to power and be super skeptical about every scientist, but they're never skeptical about people in law enforcement and the mass incarceration system. I just think that's funny. I think there's some inconsistencies that certain segments have that, hey man, if we're going to be skeptical of people in power, well, goodness gracious, why not be skeptical of police unions and law enforcement and the prison industrial complex? Why just be skeptical of people who are scientists and doctors and people working on vaccines? Why is there this disconnect and these double standards? Oh, it's because you think they're coming after your freedoms. Interesting. Yet, people in other parts of the world where the church has been consistently and historically thriving never really idolized their freedoms like that. And I'm grateful for my freedoms. I think freedoms are amazing and I'm super happy for them, but I don't know if Jesus died for your democratic freedoms, especially considering we live in a pluralistic society with all kinds of different people from all types of different walks of life. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this. What do I know? I'm just processing this. I'm just a homeschool dad who enjoys homeschooling. I don't think they're coming for us. I don't think this is stuff to be worried about. I think this is virtue signaling. I think this is knowing who's going to support your movie and pandering to an audience that is looking for something or someone to be outraged at. And I think that's mad corny, and for that they get a...
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you found it valuable, please consider giving it a like and subscribing. You can check out one of the other videos related to this that'll be over here. Now, I gotta tell you about a free training I have for anyone that is an entrepreneur, a creative, an artist, but maybe you are unsure on how to find your voice, how to find your niche. I have a free training in the description of this video. Check it out. Once again, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next video.